Elections have consequences.
Speaker is James McCoy.
The city of Chicago is $1 billion in debt. And all of this was very preventable. When the illegal migrants started coming over here, we said, and this was during the Lightfoot administration, that this was going to destroy the city. We've been coming here, we've been keeping track, we've been watching the millions of dollars that's been maldistributed to illegal immigrants who are not vetted. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows where they came from. Nobody knows their background. They're coming over here. They're committing crimes. And we're allowing the taxpayers have been coming over here complaining. The Democratic Party claim to be the party of democracy, yet the taxpayers, the citizens, the legal citizens have been coming over here and telling the government they need to stop this, that they're allowing people to come over here and terrorize the city. And yet they've been paying millions of dollars to them and telling us that they don't have any resources for us. We've been suffering. The rent has been going up. They've closed down schools for our community, our children, our citizens, yet they reopened them to make them into shelters. They've been turning everything left and right into shelters for them. They've been using hotels for shelters. They've been using police stations for shelters. They've been using warehouses and abandoned schools for shelters.
Before you leave.
And they're sitting up here telling us that now they're going to have a hiring freeze. Now, the citizens have to pay again. The citizens are going to have to pay again for the maldistribution of our resources to illegal immigrants. While you sit up there trying to blame Greg Abbott for sending the buses up here, the person who's in fault of this, the main person who's in fault of all of this is Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the main person who's in fault of all of this. And the second person is Kamala Harris. She was supposed to be the border czar, and she allowed all of this to come over here. Now she's just threw some big party, the DNC, while she's sitting up there talking about vibes and being in a good mood as Chicago is being terrorized under her watch, under Joe Biden's watch. And the Democratic Party is shutting us up, trying to silence us as we're paying for all of this. We have to suffer for all of this. There's $1 billion now. The winter hasn't even come yet. We don't even know what's going to happen then. You guys don't know what's coming over. You're still allowing them to come over here. Don't think you're going to be able to lie like we're not keeping track. We're keeping track of every single dollar that you guys are spending, every single lie that you guys are telling, and all of this is going everywhere. Chicago is the main person leading this, but New York, California, DC, everybody is watching Chicago, and this is going to be the end of the Democratic Party because this is Joe Biden's fault and Kamala Harris's fault.
Thank you. I'd like to add.
Now listen to this.
The city of Chicago is facing a nearly $1 billion budget deficit for fiscal year 2025. And the mayor says everything is on the table to fill that hole, like raising property taxes, a hiring freeze, and cuts to city services. Ninth Ward Alderman Anthony Beal joins me now. Alderman, thanks for tuning in this morning, checking in with us.
Well, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How did we get to this point? Who's to blame?
Well, it wasn't me because I voted against every budget the last 5 years. And so it was definitely the guidance of the administration that really pushes the agenda as far as our budgets are concerned. And so when you look at our budgets, it's the mayor's responsibilities to present us with budgets. And, you know, I've been fighting tooth and nail about all these bad decisions that have been made. And it's just right now, it's not enough of us in the city council to, really right the wrongs that are going on. When you look at the fact that we spent $814,000 on a wrought iron fence during the pandemic, knowing that we have a deficit, why would you do something like that? Why would we spend over $600 million on migrants when you know we have a deficit like this? Why didn't we have a hiring freeze or start furlough days back in March and April if you knew we had a deficit like this coming? And so there was no preparation. So it's just bad decisions going forward.
Thank you for clarifying that in your position on those issues. Okay, so we're in this problem. We got to do something. What would you do to plug the hole?
Well, again, we should have had massive a hiring freeze outside of police and fire. And I'm glad that the administration saw the error of their ways and reversed course on police and fire on the hiring freeze. We should have had a hiring freeze back in March and April. We should have been looking at possible furlough days like we did years ago to help plug this gap. But none of those things were done. We just kept spending, and kept spending. And now we have a hole, and we want to blame CPS on the $223 million hole that we have this year for not paying their pension payment. However, if we had not spent $600 million on the migrants, we wouldn't have a deficit this year going forward. And so we have created this disaster that we're in, and now we want to point fingers and blame everybody else for the bad decisions that this administration has been making.
And this is exactly what you get when you vote based on skin colors and fears. Politicians will take advantage of you, bro. They'll use your vote for their personal agenda. I mean, after Lori Lightfoot, who was horrible, the people of Chicago had a chance to vote for somebody better, a better candidate. But no, they choose this man, Brandon Johnson, because he was black. Now look at the consequences. And anybody with common sense can see that it's exactly what Democrats are trying to do on a national level with the Project 2025 lies and constantly repeating that Donald Trump is somehow a danger to democracy. Wake up. They are pushing fears, bro. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Elections have consequences. God bless you and your family. God bless this man. Catch you on the next one. Trump 2024.